Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you guys are doing good. I have been planning the rest of my spring, the summer, and the fall, trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing, where I'm going to be going, and it's been a busy. I think I've been doing it for about 10 days now, and it's been great. I love this part, looking at all the different areas that I can go to, all the different towns, the villages, the cities, everything that I can do in all of those different places. It's one of the best parts of actually traveling, the planning part of it. So I found myself some good things to look at if I can find them. Hold on a sec. Oh, here's one of them. I've been looking at this. I've also been reading this. So that gives you a hint of where I'm going. I'm going to be heading up the PCH. I'm in Southern California right now in Palm Desert. I'm going to be heading up the PCH all the way up to, well, Santa Barbara, and then to the Central Valley, and then I'm going to head up to Monterey, and then from Monterey I'm going to cross over, go east from there to Yosemite, try to catch some of the waterfalls coming in. Apparently it's a good time to go, and in end of April and May, because that's when the snow starts melting, and so you get some really spectacular waterfalls. I actually called the ranger there at Yosemite and I spoke to her, and she told me that usually I was actually planning on going in June. I had bookings, reservations, everything all done for June, and then I called her just to find out what's happening, and she said because there was not a lot of snowfall this year, she's expecting April, end of April, beginning of May to be the better part to be out there. So I've changed my plans. I'm going to head up there by that time. I'm going to go from here. I'm going to spend a little bit more time in Southern California, and then I'm going to start heading up north and take the PCH all the way up. And I've been looking at this book as one of the sources of information for the kinds of places that I want to see along the way. I've seen a lot of at least the Southern California part of PCH. I've driven up the 101 and the 1 and the 5 more times than I can count. At least the 5. I can drive that thing half asleep. I've done the 101 quite a few times. I've only done the PCH a couple of times. I've never done that with an RV. I've never done that with a trailer, so it'll be the first time I'll be doing that. So looking forward to it. I've been researching that, and obviously all the different sites and places to look at along the way. So that's been fun. I love it. I am only going to go up to Monterey, and then I'm going to cross over to Yosemite, like I was mentioning, to try to be there towards the end of April, the first week of May, so that I can get the best, the waterfall. I may miss some of it. I may miss the best part by, a week here or there or 2 weeks, but at least according to the ranger, she said that's the best time to come up there. So that's what I'm going to do. After that, I'm going to head up the PCH from right at the California-Oregon border and pretty much take the PCH all the way up. One of the best parts about the Oregon coast is that there are many thousand trails parks out there. Tons. So every almost between 50 and 100 miles, there's a Thousand Trails Park. I think there's like 5 or 6 of them along the way up there. And so I'm going to be stopping at each one of them until I get up to Washington and to Olympic National Park and check that out. So until then, I'll be staying at the Thousand Trails Parks. I'll be doing some of the I'll be doing a little bit of the Oregon State Parks also, to get a little bit inside the state, out towards Salem and Portland and Eugene and that area. There's no Thousand Trails Parks in those locations. So I'll be doing some dispersed camping out there. I'll be doing some campgrounds out there, and then I'll come back out towards the coast and continue on towards Thousand Trails all the way up. It has been a very interesting aspect of the travel. All of the websites, all of the books, all of the different campgrounds, the different camping options. You've got, just going up the PCH in California, you've got all of the state parks, the California state parks, as one of the primary campgrounds that you can stop at. Then you've got some of the county parks, like in San Luis Obispo County, right near Morro Bay. There's a campground out there, El Chorro. So I think I'm going to stay there. I may stay at Pismo Beach. I'm still debating. By the way, pro tip, if you are into ATVs, if you're into off-roading, there's a place called Oceano Dunes, OCEANO, Dunes, DUNES, SVRA, Special Vehicle Recreational Area. And that is like probably 10 miles of beach area where you can take your ATV. It's all sand. People have hundreds of RVs that they park out there. That whole area is for RVs and for ATVs. Initially, I was going to stop there and it's right in Pismo Beach. So initially, I was going to stop there, and I thought that'd be a great place to, check out all the ATVs and all the action out there. Plus, it's $10 a night, so you can't really beat that. But I looked at a few different videos for RVs going up there, and I thought it was going to be fine. Then there was this guy just 10 days ago. He posted a video of his RV, his travel trailer, and his truck, and he got stuck. He needed somebody to pull him out. And so that changed my mind. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to mess with that. I'm driving all the way up to PCH, all the way up to Washington. So I'm going to stop at a campground, either the Pismo Beach campground or the El Chorro campground closer to Morro Bay. And then I'll check out that area as well. And then I'm going to go up Yosemite, and then I'm going to go to Oregon. So in those areas, there's tons of different campgrounds. You don't have a lot of dispersed campgrounds, dispersed parking. There's not a whole lot of that. There is some if you go along the 101 on the west side, on the coastal side. You do get some forest land up there. You could stay there. You could actually even stay there if you're going on the 1. You could just drive. But it's, in some cases, it's quite a ways away from the 1, like an hour and a half in before you find dispersed camping. So, you might as well just stay at the campground. If it was closer by, I would do the dispersed camping, but there's nothing really close by. So you've got the California state parks, and you've got the county parks. But really, I'm looking, now it's April 1st, and I've been looking, April Fools! No, this is my serious plan. I'm really planning this. I've been thinking about this and working on it for the last 10 days. So I should have booked some of the campgrounds up towards the Central Valley and the southern part of Monterey Bay. Should have already booked them because they're gone. I was lucky to find one at Kirk Creek, K-A-R-K, Kirk Creek. And that is an amazing, amazing, amazing campground. Literally off the 1, you make a left, you get into the campground, you're on a cliff overlooking the Pacific Ocean. There's nothing there. There's the campground, and then there's the ocean. Amazing, amazing spot. So I was able to get that for 2 nights. So I'm going to do that for a couple of nights. And then I'm going to keep on driving up towards Monterey. But that's really all the options you have. You really have to book at least a couple of months in advance to get some of the options. And at Kirk Creek Campground, I don't have a site facing the water. I've got a site on the other side of the campground. I think there's like less than 15 spots, like 5 or 6 along the ocean, and they're all gone. So I was able to snag one on the other side. There was only 2 spots left, and I was able to get one of them, and that's really it. But you're still able to see the ocean. You're still able to see the water. You're still able to hear it when you're sleeping. So it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to that. But you really have to book in advance if you want some of these spots. So, yeah. Anyway, so this is all of the different, I've got like 10, 15 different tabs open on my external monitor here. I've got probably 10 tabs open on my laptop, and I've been looking at different campgrounds. There's a bunch of recreation.gov campgrounds that I've got open. There's a bunch of National Park Service campgrounds. Actually, I think a lot of these are National Park Service campgrounds up in Washington. That's what I'm looking at right now. Most of these are National Park Service. And then I've got a little bit of Forest Service campgrounds up there too, but it's really hard to find right now. So that's what I've been looking at, and it's been a lot of fun. It's terrific. Here, let me show you a little bit of it. So what I'm doing is I'm using Google My Maps, not Google Maps, Google My Maps, and I'm using layers on Google Maps right here. So these are my overnight stops, and then after that I've got all my sightseeing stops. These are all at different places. I've just been working on it. I'm not done, but that's what I've got so far. And then you can see there's a lot. There's my dispersed BLM, California campgrounds, CSV, KLM. I've got the Cal State parking points, United States Forest Service in California. So I've got a bunch of different things that I've uploaded here. A lot of these sites are up in Washington, in Oregon as well. I haven't put in the California ones yet, but you can see there's a lot of them. I'm not going to get to all of them. I'm going to get to most of them, but not all of them. And then these are my overnights. Most of them are 1,000 trails so far. And that's the map. I'll show you on the map what it looks like. Oops. So all of the, I don't know, red, maroon color, I don't know what that color is, but whatever that is, those are all the campgrounds, the ones with the house icon. Those are all the different campgrounds that I'm looking at. And you can see I've got them all the way up. Wait, let me get rid of the sightseeing layer. You can see how it works. I got rid of all the sightseeing layers. That's all the sightseeing layers, and that now they're gone. So those are all of the 1,000 trails and other campgrounds, mostly campgrounds. I haven't added the dispersed camping yet. The red ones are 1,000 trails that I've either booked or I'm going to plan to stay at. The black ones are National Park Service and recreation.gov, and some of the county and state parks up in Washington as well. Actually, not a lot of state parks, some of the county parks. So that's all of my campgrounds that I'll be staying at. And then I add the sightseeing layer. And those are all the orange icons. You know, like Crescent City, I'm going to stop at. There's a beach overlook. And I made some notes of the kinds of things to look at over there. There's a ton. I've done a lot of it for Washington, just because the guidebook starts from the north. It starts from Washington, then goes to Oregon, and then goes to California. So I've got all of the Washington ones pretty much done. So like here, that's a in the city of Seaside, there's a Lewis and Clark statue. There's a lot of beach biking, volleyball, bonfires on the beach. So, you know, places to check out. There's some really cool places out there. And then there's all of the hiking options up in, this is a very easy hike, only 0.8 miles, Hall of Moses. It's in Forks, Washington, and that's part of the Olympic National Park. So I'll be doing some of these. This one is one of the popular places to go to, Hurricane Ridge. So I'll be going there. There's a hike nearby, Hurricane Hill Trailhead. So I'll be doing that as well. It's a 1.5 mile hike. And then I'm going to head out towards the real north of the state, Vancouver being right here. So yeah, that's what it's going to look like. It's been a lot of fun. It's been great to plan all that out. You can see all the different sites that I have already identified up in Washington, and then a little bit more in Oregon. I haven't done a lot of sites in Northern California yet, but a lot of them I've already seen. So if I get a chance to see them again, that'd be great. If not, you know, that's fine too. And a lot of this is what I'm going to see on the way up. I've still got to come all the way down, although my plan is to be in Washington at least until the first week or two of September. So I'm going to be, you know, coming. The plan has changed at least 2 or 3 times. It is solidly changed 2 or 3 times, to the point that I made reservations and then I canceled reservations. I made reservations for Thousand Trails all the way up to Washington like 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago, and then I canceled all of them. So now I've got new reservations in. So it's been a lot of planning, a lot of revising, a lot of, you know, cancellations, rebooking them. But it's been fun. So now I've got all of the sites that I'm going to be doing on the way up. On the way back down, I think I'm going to stop towards Northern California, Sonoma, Napa. All of that is probably going to happen in September and October. And then after that, I'll probably come straight down where I am right now in Palm Desert in Southern California for the winter. And that's going to be my entire year, really. I've been here since the beginning of the year. We're on April, you know, it's April 1st today, and I'll be spending the rest of spring, summer, fall in all of these states on the West Coast, and then I'll come back down the West Coast. By the time I finish with everything, it'll be October, and at that point it doesn't make sense to go anywhere else, you know, especially when you have an option to be in Southern California at the time. You know, why go anywhere else? So I think I'll just come back here. I may go to Baja California next year. It's been on my list, so I may go to Baja in the upcoming winter, 2022 winter, 2023 winter. But you know, that's sort of the plan. It's fun. I love this stuff. I don't know if you enjoy all of the planning, if you enjoy reading the guidebooks and figuring out where you're going to go. I'm still, you know, like I mentioned, I'm still starting. There's still going to be a lot of places that I have to look at. I haven't gone through some of the city sites. I haven't gone through all of the state sites. I haven't done any of that yet. All of this information is what I've gone from these 2 guidebooks that I've been reading. So undoubtedly there's going to be more information to look at, more information to consider. Some of these sites are going to be taken off the list. I'm not going to actually visit them, but I'm populating everything right now, and you know, we'll see which ones I end up visiting. I would bet probably 60-70% of them I'm going to end up visiting. Probably 30-40% I'm not going to end up going to. But it's good to have them. It's good to, you know, it gives you a lot of flexibility depending on where you are and what you want to see. Knowing what sites are around there, it gives you a lot of flexibility. It takes a lot of time ahead of, you know, in terms of preparation, in terms of research, in terms of reading the guidebooks and online research. It takes a lot of time, but it's well worth it. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing good. We'll catch you later.